Oh, welcome back, everybody. I'm glad you guys are joining me for a special edition of the Freedom Stream on Uniquely Us. That's right. Unfortunately, I had to send a refugee boat over to Uniquely Us in order to get my message out tonight. Typically, I don't do politics on this channel, as many of you know. So thank you for you that have shown up due to the wrongfully strike that I received today from YouTube and not able to live stream, upload, or even post on my community page for 1 week. I am appealing both of those bogus strikes that I received today and yesterday from YouTube, and we'll be going into those here in a few minutes. And I just want to thank everybody that's coming over here. I know it was kind of last minute. I enlisted some help from Aircraft Sparky, among some other YouTubers, which I don't know if they even saw my message or not, but I did send out some of those things to see if they would be willing to just direct some traffic over this way, but we'll see what happens. If not, then not a big deal. I will be here with you guys for our normal show, but I definitely need to vent about what is taking place right now and what's going on. But let me go ahead and say hello to the ones that did show up over here today. We have Dave Kranick. Hey, Dave, it's good to see you, my good friend. Trace of Colorado. Hello. And, of course, Aircraft Sparky. We have Sleeper, Lewis Trumpet, Hernandez. How are you doing today? We have Nikki Nicole and Remy Max. So thank you, you guys, for coming in here and being part of tonight's show. Of course, YouTube is screwing with the Let's Be Frank channel. As you guys know, I try to do my best in order to stay within the guidelines of YouTube, ever-changing guidelines, let me put it that way, ever-changing guidelines of YouTube over on that channel. And I don't ever do anything maliciously. I don't ever share anything that would be considered even edgy most of the time, unlike others that have done that before. And I do try to continue to be within those guidelines. And that is why I have to today be over on Uniquely Us live streaming. And again, like I said, I don't like doing this over on this channel because I try to keep this thing political free, but I need to be able to get out to you guys tonight. This is a viable option for tonight, and that's where I am. We'll see how the appeals end up going over the next day or two and seeing what I'm going to do. Sparky has been very generous and offered me his platform to stream on Tuesday if we have not resolved the issues before that. So thank you again, Sparky, for being a good friend and offering your platform for me to be able to get a message out. But I do appreciate it. He did offer to do it tonight, but I had already things rolling over on this end, so I didn't want to go ahead and disrupt that. So what happened today, what happened yesterday with YouTube is a live stream I did, I want to say it was last week, if you guys remember, talking about saving America, if you guys remember that one, and Live Free. I think it was the Live Free live stream I did. And apparently they took it down because they said there was election misinformation inside of that live stream. And I went back and viewed the live stream myself, and I could not detect where they were trying to say I had claimed that there was so-called fraud in the election. And so as I was looking at it, the only place I could determine where they had considered that is when I had astutely pointed out that the election laws in certain swing states in this nation were changed outside of the norm. They were changed outside of the legislation of those states. And those things were all done to fortify the election. This is all documented in the Time magazine article, if you guys remember me talking about that. Anyway, so I went ahead and appealed that one. That one was appealed yesterday. I appealed it. I haven't heard anything back from it, but that gave me a warning. Then today, I was hit with another medical misinformation is the one that was hit with me today. I shared a video of Donald Trump Jr. Talking about Biden's speech from the other evening, where Biden did not give credit to President Trump for starting up warp speed and things like that. And he went on to explain that the vaccines were developed under President Trump, and none of this could be possible without President Trump's aggressive push to ensure that there were vaccines available for the nation. And so, for whatever reason, I guess they felt that was a strike worthy for misinformation, where Donald Trump Jr. did not say anything negative about the vaccines. The only thing he attacked was Biden's unwillingness to give President Trump the credit for ensuring that there was an apparatus that was already set up when he came into office to help deliver those vaccines and have the vaccines. If you guys remember, don't forget, right after the election, miraculously, the Johnson & Johnson, I think it was, or Minerva? What's that one vaccine called? What is it? Moderna. Yeah. The Moderna came out and said that the vaccine were ready to go and they could roll them out. But if you guys remember, during the campaign, they were saying, no, it wasn't ready. But as soon as the election was over, they came out and said they were ready with the vaccines, again, proving President Trump right during the election cycle. And so here we are, over here on this channel, broadcasting, because YouTube's bots and YouTube's colored hair social justice warriors that they're behind keyboards are upset because they're working overtime to ensure they're trying to silence any type of conservative on this platform. And that is a shame. And I know that's not what's going on, right, YouTube? You aren't trying to really go after conservatives, are you, YouTube? Because that would be very criminal of you guys to be doing something like that. And I know you guys would never do anything criminal like that, right? To silence opposition or silence dissent. You would never do that, would you, YouTube? Of course not. Of course not. Why would you want to do that? We're at a point now, folks, where we currently are in this timeline that we are in, where any type of dissenting speech is being silenced. If you are not on the corporation side of it, if you're not with this current potato administration that's in power right now, then you must be silenced. And that's what they're working on doing. And channels like mine, other channels on this platform and other platforms that utilize Google and stuff like that are all being targeted. I did share all my links in the description in this live stream, which is Odysee and stuff like that. If you want to see that video in question that they took down because of medical information, you can go check it out on Odysee. It's still over there on Odysee. Go over there and view it over there. If you have not subscribed to me over on Odysee, please go over and subscribe to me on Odysee as I continue to grow that platform. And it's just one of those things. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that we have to continue to look over our shoulders every time, because it's okay to still question the 2016 election. If you guys didn't know that, it's okay to question the 2016 election. You can say that Donald Trump stole the 2016 election without any blowback from Twitter, from YouTube, from Google, from any of these social media platforms. That is acceptable. But don't you dare ever question the validity of this last election, because we all know there was 81 million enthused voters that went out and voted for the potato. We know that because the evidence is all over the place, right? Every time this guy has a speech, every time this guy is on a social media platform, just millions of people rush to go see what this guy has to say. No, there's thousands of people, maybe hundreds of people that want to see this potato, but there's not millions. They're doing their best to ensure that the dissent is silenced. They don't want us pointing out the obvious fact that the 81 totally legitimate voters out there voted for this potato. They don't want us talking about this election anymore because they want us to memory hold us. They're doing their best to erase the last 4 years. They're doing their best to ensure that from here on out, we're not allowed to criticize our politicians. We're not dare criticize the oligarchs in the tech industry. We're not dare to question the CEOs of these large corporations, or if we do, we'll be thrown into the gulags and we will be reprogrammed and re-educated, and to ensure that we are just like the rest of the NPCs around here that are droning around saying the same thing. Right? That's where we're headed. That's where we currently are, because that's where I think we are right now. And it's unfortunate that we are at this point right now. Hello, Terry. Hello, Gail. Hello, David Johnson. Hello, everyone joining me over here on this channel tonight to broadcast the Freedom Stream. Thank you for coming over here. Hello, Conservative Patriot. Thank you for being here tonight. Hello, Lily Gilly. It's good to see you. Lily Gilly, it's good to see you. Thank you so much. I do appreciate all of your guys' support. Hello, Linda Hayes. It's good to see you. Max. Hello, Dr. Samia. It's good to see you. Hello, Sleeper. Kenneth Reynolds. I do appreciate all of you guys coming over here. The Patriot Paladin. Thank you so much. And of course, the Texas Pink Lady. Hello, hello, hello. It's good to see all of you guys. I don't know how to say this, but I'm going to say hello to you anyway because it's writing I don't understand. So, but anyway, hello to you too. But that's where we are right now. This is unfortunate. This is where we currently sitting. You couldn't even share the president's speech from CPAC here on YouTube without it being pulled down. I didn't share it, but I know other people that shared it. I believe Right Side News broadcast was suspended for showing President Trump speaking at CPAC. That is unbelievable. Unbelievable that we are now sitting in this where they are actively silencing people they don't agree with, people that they don't want. And I appreciate you, Dr. Samia, for having my back. That's right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And you know what? I probably will be over on, if we can't get things resolved here in the next day or two, I probably will show up over on Sparky's channel. And maybe Sparky and I will go together and talk about this and really try to shine a light on it. But right now, I am just angry. I am angry at what happened because I know how hard I work to ensure that I stay within the guidelines. And that's what's so infuriating about what this company will sit here and do, about how they go around and they determine that. Because you can go to any of these left-wing YouTubers out there, people like Vosh or Destiny or these other kooks out there, and they can say whatever they want about the right. They can call you Nazis. They can call you white supremacists. They can slander you all they want. And nothing ever comes back to hit them. And do I want these people canceled? No, I don't want anybody canceled. I'm not somebody that's out there promoting cancel culture. My belief is if you don't like it, you can change the channel. You don't have to subscribe to that creator. You don't have to watch that creator's stuff. You don't have to do any of that things like that. But the left is not satisfied until they absolutely can purge you from all platforms, de-persing you the best they can, because that's what they're looking to do right now, my friends. And right now, it's going to take all of us to continue to stand up the best we can to this type of overreach by the tech oligarchs that continue to rule this nation. Because if you think about it, these tech oligarchs are even more powerful than governments around the world. They're more powerful than the governments of other countries. They own many of our politicians here in this nation right now. And they continue to get away with it every single day, my friends. And this is unfortunate because these platforms all started off as a public square for us to share ideas and stuff like that. But once the mainstream media, once politicians figured out that this was an area where we were growing, our influence was extending, where we were able to share ideas with a vast audience, where we were outpacing many of the cable news outlets out there on mainstream media. They understood it was the only way they could take care of their competition was by eliminating their competition the best way they knew how, canceling many creators over here. Alex Jones was the tip of the spear, my friends. They went after him first, and the rest fell. Nobody said a word when they went after Alex, did they? All the pompous conservatives, all the Ben Shapiro's. No, that was okay. That was okay to cancel Alex Jones because he said mean things. But guess what? They're coming for people like Ben Shapiro soon, too. They're going to be coming for these people. The same people that sat there and clapped like seals when Alex Jones was taken off air, those same people will be on the chopping block before you know it. Instead of standing up for speech that you might not like, Instead of standing up for their rights under our First Amendment, they were quickly ready to throw them under the bus. That's why I don't give Ben Shapiro any type of credibility, because for all the free speech he says that he advocates for, he's the first person to sit there and throw people under the bus to make sure he looks good in the media. Absolutely cannot stand Ben Shapiro. I'm not a Ben Shapiro fan, not ever since he decided to go ahead and turn on conservative figures that were pushing America First agendas and warning what was coming down the road. He just called us crazy, and he was willing to sacrifice others so he could continue to have his little corner here on the internet. So, excuse me. So, here we are. This is where I had a great show planned out today, too. I was going to be talking about a lot of stuff. I still have some of the stuff lined up. I really didn't sit there and organize it tonight like I do most nights. But my friends, this is what they want. They want us to continue to quit fighting. They want us to quit fighting. I saw something that was ridiculous today. Ridiculous. I don't know if I saved it on my Twitter. I may have. Let me take a look real quick. I think I may have saved it on my Twitter. If you guys didn't know, it is now racist to share. If you're white and you share an Oprah meme, you are racist. That's right, my friends. Oh, here it is. Here, let me go ahead and share. Let me bring this up for you guys. Because if you're sharing Oprah memes to dunk on the left, you now are racist, my friend. You are now participating in digital blackface. That's what they said. That's right. Digital blackface. These people are freaking insane. Here it is. For the Daily Mail, says, don't post Oprah memes if you are not black. White people are told that using interviewer Megan's reaction clips for fun is a digital blackface. What? These people are absolutely crazy. These people are crazy. They're going after your memes. They're going after anything that you can mock them with. When you're mocking them and you're being effective by using their own people, by mocking them, they want to try to end that. They're trying to end memes too. We know this. The UK or the EU, the EU passed some regulations or laws back a couple of years ago, as you guys remember. I remember talking about this on one of my streams, that they were making it illegal to use memes or use popular memes or use like a copyrighted photo, I guess. And they were going to copyright strike those memes, and that's how they were going to go about doing that, because memes are effective. We know memes are effective, but now you're participating in digital blackface now, my friends. You're racist for sharing black people memes. If there's a black person in a meme and you share it, now you are a racist for sharing that. You can't do that, my friends. If you're a white person, you cannot share those memes. Those memes are not for you. These people are nuts. These people are nuts, my friends. This is garbage of what we continue to see here. Garbage what we continue to see here. There's no other way I can explain it outside of that. Oh man, I closed that out. I need that one open. Let me see if I can't get this one back open real quick. This was we're going to touch on everything tonight, man. We're going to touch on everything because I'm fired up. We're going to touch on everything tonight. Here in the state of Florida, we have a couple news sites here in the state of Florida that have really been pushing fear. They've been pushing that fear porn all over people. Want you to be afraid, want you to stay inside, want you to wear those triple masks. They want you to ensure that you don't question any of the rules that are coming from the CDC. They want you to just stay inside your house and not want to get out at all because of this is a big one. I'm going to share this in a minute here. Go ahead and open that one up. Get that one ready to go. Again, sorry, I wasn't completely prepared for tonight's thing because of everything else. I got these loaded up. All right. So we have this here with the where'd it go? Lose my spot. There we are. Okay. So here in the state of Florida, we have spring break starting up. I think it may have started for some parts of the state and other parts of the country. Spring break's about to start. This is a crazy story. Crazy story. How did I share this? Yeah. All right. So, in order to continue to stay compliant with the government overreach, with the government mandated mask wearing, social distancing, they want you doing this outside, by the way. They want you to wear a mask while you're on the beach. I don't know if you know this or not. Here in the state of Florida, it's absolutely crazy. Some of these stupid counties and cities that are near the ocean are trying to push this. But take a look at this. This is coming to us by Fox 13 News of Tampa. It's from Facebook. This is where I found it. Bring it up here. All right. I'm going to go ahead and full size this here. It says this. It says teams are randomly roaming Pinellas beaches to give out $25 gift cards for good pandemic behavior. Did you hear that? Good pandemic behavior. They're rewarding people, training people to continue to wear their mask, to like a dog. They're trying to train you like a dog. That's what they're trying to do. They're good pandemic behavior. Hey, come here, boy. Come here, boy. Oh, you got that mask on, good boy. Hey, oh, good boy. Good boy. Here's a gift card. Good boy. That's what they're doing, my friends. That is the same type of behavior they're engaging in right now. They're engaging in that right now here in the state of Florida on some of our beaches. This is happening here in Pinellas County. Pinellas County. I don't live near Pinellas County. But Pinellas County, mainly retirement. It's really retirement area. But the beaches, of course, is dominated by the youth. Anyway, they're out there trying to sit there and condition you to wear that mask with giving you gift cards for when you wear your mask correctly or your social distancing. This is insane. This is 1984. This is 1984. This is what we're dealing with right now. 1984. Take a look at this. The article continues on saying, such as wearing masks, spreading out on the beach, and sanitizing while at businesses, and being patient and kind. That's what's going to get you a gift card in the Pinellas County area. They're going to reward you for being a good boy or good girl. Good girl. Good girl. You know, when the dog sits up for a treat or something like that, that's how they're treating us. They're treating us like animals. They're trying to condition us in order to do so. I don't know how many kids out there on the beach are going to sit there and wear a mask. I know when we go to the beach here in about a month from now, we're going to go to the beach. We're not wearing masks on the beach. We're not wearing. If one of my kids puts a mask on the beach, I'm disowning them right there and there. They're going to walk home. They're going to walk back home. I am not taking them home with me. We're not wearing masks on the beach. That's crazy. That's anti-science. Anti-science to wear a mask on the beach. That is what that is. And they're sitting there pushing the mask on the beach. Mask on the beach? What? Mask on the beach. This is what our government's trying to do. These are like many little dictators in these counties. Many little dictators inside these little counties around Florida. And I'm sure there's states that are dealing with this too. There are states that are still mask mandating and everything like that as well around the country. Heck, you had Potato on national television saying that maybe if we're good, we can gather for 4th of July with a couple family members. Remember that? That was just a couple nights ago. If we're good, if we just obey the government, if we just wear our mask like good little boys and girls, they're going to let us go ahead and get together with family. Oh, how nice of the government to give us permission to sit there and gather with our family. Oh, thank you, government. Thank you. Man, I'm so glad you're there. So glad that you're watching out for my safety. Man, I'm glad I don't have to make any real decisions in my life because you're there to make them for me. Said no American ever. Come on. If you're somebody that's asking the government to do that, you're a commie. You're a commie. You're a commie, and you want mother government there, comrade, to sit there and lull you to bed. They want you to have a nanny state from cradle to death. That's what they want. I don't want that, my friends. I want to make our own decisions for our own families. Your family makes your own decisions. My family makes its decisions. We don't need a government entity telling me that if I'm good and if my family's good, then we can go ahead and get together on 4th of July. Or maybe I'll get a gift card on the beach if I wear my mask correctly on the beach in summer weather in Florida. Are you insane? That is not science. That is not science at all. There's no science behind that. That's control. It's called control, my friends. That's what that is. It's just control. They want you to wear a mask wherever because it's no longer about safety. It's no longer about trying to keep people safe. No, it's about how many people can we get to control. They sit there and probably laugh at us behind closed doors. I bet you if they come out, if Fauci came out and talked about wearing a stupid fan, I've seen this meme before, wear a fan on your head to blow away the coronavirus, people would be wearing fans on their head. They would. They would wear fans and they would be triple masking. I guarantee you there's somebody out here in the United States right now showering with a mask on. They got a mask on inside the shower by themselves right now. I guarantee you there's somebody like that right now. Somewhere in the U.S., there's somebody wearing a mask. I know it. I got a feeling. My mask senses are tingling, my friends. I'm tingling. I feel the mask. Somebody's wearing a mask right now, showering. It's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. This is wow. Wow. I can't believe people are taking this seriously. I may not help it when I'm on the beach in a couple of weeks sitting there. If I see somebody go by with a mask on, I might just stare. I just might stare and be like, what are they doing? Because that is where we are, my friends. That is where we are with everything. And it's sad. It's a very sad state of what we're currently seeing right now. And here we got Fox News of Tampa Bay trying to push some gift card on people to make sure we properly wear our mask. Oh, you're such a good boy. You're a good boy, Remy Max. You're a good girl, Nikki. You're a good girl, or you're a good boy, Rick and Bad. Here's a gift card for wearing your mask. No, I know every single one of you guys wouldn't be wearing a mask on the beach. But that's crazy, my friends. That is crazy. That is crazy. All of this is just nuts. It's not even common sense any longer. There's no common sense behind it. None of it. No common sense behind any of this stuff. They're saying they're trying to push on us. From gift cards to the beach because you're wearing your mask correctly like a good dog, or from wearing triple mask inside your car by yourself with mask on your little blower things. I can't think of the name for them. The vents inside your car. I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt if there was something like that there. But as we continue, here's the thing from thing, because there is no science behind any of this, my friends. No science. Here's the this is Sun Sentinel here. Well, this is somebody tweeting about it. I'm going to share it with you guys real quick because I think it's very accurate of where we are. But look at this. Look at this. This is from the Sun Sentinel, which is in Miami. It's in Miami, and this is what they put out here. Show it up here real quick. Julie Kelly says it's important to understand that there's lots of folks have always hated the idea of attractive social people with friends having fun. COVID gives them an excuse to make this public. And here's South Florida Sun Sentinel says Florida COVID variant soar as spring breakers arrive. Oh, how convenient. How convenient. There's COVID variants in Miami right now soaring because the spring breakers have shown up. That's right. They want you to live in a state of fear. They need you to stay in a state of fear. The government needs to have you in a state of fear. If they don't have you in a state of fear, and the American people all of a sudden wake up to the notion that we've been lied to by a government telling us how deadly this thing has been for the last year, and how many people have we lost because of their draconian mandates, the lockdowns, the shutting down of businesses, people losing their livelihoods. How many people have committed suicide? We've touched on many of these topics on this show. How many people have died of suicide? How many people have died of drug overdoses? How many people, young people, have done the same thing because of the things that have taken place in this nation over a year now? And they continue to try to sit there and push it on us even more. Hello, not my potatoes. Good to see you, my friend. Continue to try to push it on us. And they do it with the fear. It's subtle messaging. Subtle messaging. Florida COVID variant soar. So let's go ahead and take a look at the article, because I'm curious now to see what's inside this article. So let's go ahead and take a look at it, because I want to know. I want to know what they are saying that is so scary that we shouldn't go to the beach. We shouldn't go on spring break, my friends. Don't go on spring break. Don't you go to the beach. Have you asked your big brother Biden if you could go yet? No. Well, looks like we're not going to look at it because they want me to pay for this article. I am not paying for fear on here, so we're not going to look at it now. So we're going to go to here. Let's take a look here. There we go. We're not going to look at it. It was fear anyway. I'm sure it was. But that's what they want to do. That's how they present it to us. That's how they continue to do it. And that's not the only thing they're sitting here still pushing fear about. What else are they pushing fear about right now? They're pushing fear about white supremacy, and they're pushing fear about the right wing storming the Capitol. Remember, that's what they've been trying to do here. They've been trying to sit there and sow this fear into normies' heads that there's a big uprising of white supremacy in this nation, and they're coming for the politicians in D.C. So the FBI has to act quickly. The DOJ has to act quickly. We need to make sure we're taking these dangerous people off the streets. You know, this story actually is quite scary when you start looking at it and reading it. What took place to this gentleman that attended the January 6th event in D.C. This is what took place. This happened just a couple of days ago. Let me go ahead and show you guys, share this story, and we're going to talk about it for a bit here. Let me go ahead and grab it, bring it over here. Make sure it's up here. All right. Take a sip here. So, the federal government's using its power in the federal agencies to go after people that attended January 6th. And we've been seeing stories like this since January 6th. We know people. I've known people that have been visited by the FBI. We've known people that have been taken, arrested and then let go. We've known people that are still serving time. So there's a lot of stuff going on. This story right here, particularly, I shared this with Sparky. I believe it was yesterday. I sent it over to him. And I was going to do a story about it. I was going to talk about it on my live stream tonight, which I guess I currently am, about this. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at it. It's from the Gateway Pundit. It says this: shock report. FBI sends in an armored vehicle with a turret, 2 vans, 6 FBI vehicles, 3 local police vehicles to arrest a young father who attended the January 6th rally. Wow. They didn't round up Antifa like this. They didn't round up Black Lives Matter like this. People that actually caused damage to the country. People that actually burnt down cities, blocks of this nation. Burnt down businesses. Destroyed people's livelihoods. Sat there, murdered people in numerous cities during this time. Nobody got treated like this. This reminds me of Roger Stone. When they showed up at Roger Stone's house and treated him like a domestic terrorist. Treated him like somebody that we would have picked up from Al-Qaeda. But see, that's the problem. That's how the left views the right. The left views us as Al-Qaeda. They view us with that same disdain. They don't want to just to beat us in elections, my friends. They want to lock us up. They want to lock us up. And this story illustrates that right here. What measures they're willing to go to ensure that they're locking people up, sending a message saying that you better never gather up again to go against your government. This is a message they're sending out by these types of arrests. This is what they're doing. Let's take a look at the article real quick. It says this: Joshua James was arrested this week and is being charged in connection to the violent events of January 6th in Washington, D.C. Joshua James is an Iraq war veteran. He was wounded in a bomb blast in Iraq, and Joshua is being held by the FBI without bail. Joshua is also the breadwinner in his family. He received retirement pay from the military. He has 3 young children, including a 3-year-old. His wife is a commission-based part-time realtor. She tells us she brings in little income. And this is a picture of him right here and his little boy, if you guys can see that. Right there. I continue. The FBI lured him out of his home in Alabama by pretending to be a customer needing a pressure washing. Then an army armored vehicle with a turret on top, 2 FBI vans, 6 FBI vehicles, 3 local police, and sheriff vehicles pulled up and ransacked their home. And here's the picture of the vehicle, if you guys can see that. There's the vehicle. Audrey James, his wife, was forced to sit outside for 8 hours with her 3-year-old while the FBI searched their home and broke a light fixture. Josh James is a war hero, a veteran, a godly man, a provider, and a business owner. Joshua James did not commit any violent crime. He attended the January speech by President Trump at the Ellipse along with a million other Americans. He volunteered to work security with other members of the Oath Keepers. The FBI is holding him until trial because he was seen speaking with 2 other members of the Oath Keepers that day. How is this legal? The FBI is going to move Joshua James to Washington, D.C., Audrey said. They're setting up a fundraising page for him. Here's our testimony from Audrey James. Joshua was arrested this week and is being charged in connection with the events of January 6th in D.C. Bail was recommended by the probation office, and we were told prosecution would not argue against bail. But somehow, at the last minute, prosecution decided to argue against it. My husband was in D.C. that day providing security detail for speakers at the rally that morning. FBI said under oath that they do not believe my husband was part of any violence, and they have no proof that he was involved in violence. The main topic of their testimony was the Oath Keepers logo on his hat. The organizers who asked him to provide security to the speakers that day. They kept referring to other individuals who had the same logos on their clothing. That day, they addressed and their aggressive behavior. The public defender asked, was Mr. James seen with these people exhibiting aggressive behavior? The FBI response, no, he was not. Public defender, well, then let's talk about Mr. James' actions instead. They said they had cell phone data that places Joshua pinging off a tower that provides service in an area that includes the Capitol. That doesn't prove anything other than he was in the radius of that tower, which is about a 6-mile range. Here's the judge's reasons for denying bail. Why Joshua doesn't have a criminal background and has strong ties to the community and is not believed to be a flight risk and may not have been violent that day, he continued to have communication with members of the Oath Keeper after the 6th, which proves he has no remorse for the events of that day. And due to the fact that he has PTSD from being blown up in Iraq, serving his country, and doesn't take medication for his PTSD and owns firearms, they feel that a volatile combination and sees no reasonable scenario for granting bail. We said we would get rid of any weapons and even agree to medical evaluation to prove he doesn't need medication. Are those not reasonable scenarios? Especially for a combat veteran, Purple Heart recipient, small business owner who is the sole provider for his wife and 3 kids, who has a strong ties to the community and isn't thought to be a flight risk. He should be able to be home protecting his family while helping prepare for his legal battles. He is unable to work from jail, and we have lost over half our income if he can't work. My husband has also used his personal time to repeatedly respond to assist natural disasters, rendering help to victims of tragedy, injury, and destructive forces of nature, even in his own community. They called our office line pretending to be a customer, needing pressure washing to draw him out from the house. They arrested him away from the house, but then showed up to our home with SWAT, a tank rolled up to my front door. My 3-year-old and I were drawn outside so they could clear the house and raid it. We had to sit outside for almost 8 hours in the public eye while they tore our house apart and broke a light fixture. The only items they took were Oath Keeper t-shirts, stickers, and pamphlets, and a can of some type of pepper spray. They did come back 2 days later with a warrant for a random cell phone, since we are getting harassing and threatening calls to the business line, email, and Facebook. With bail being denied, they will transfer him to D.C. to await trial. Who knows when that will be? We have no funds for the attorney of this magnitude and are trying to fundraise. So for even being associated with what the government feels is a threat, they're sitting there trying to produce this guy as a common criminal, a domestic terrorist. This is dangerous. This is a dangerous time that we're currently living through right now. You can't dare question your government. You have to show remorse for what happened on January 6th, or you're going to be treated like a criminal. That's what the judge said. The judge said because he didn't show remorse for what happened on January 6th. What is that, a litmus test now? What? If I don't show remorse of what happened on 9/11, say so, then I'm considered a terrorist? They're trying to equate this to the same thing. They're trying to make American citizens terrorists. That's the Democrats' goal. That is their entire game plan, trying to make us terrorists. They've been using this type of language for a long time. The left has been using this type of language as long as I can remember. As long as I can remember being this involved in politics, they have used this type of language trying to classify you as terrorists. If you're a gun owner, you're a terrorist. If you're a Bible-believing, God-fearing individual, then you're a terrorist too. If you're a white male, you're a triple terrorist. That is what they do. And now this is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. They're trying to arrest individuals and make examples out of them in order to discourage others from standing up and calling out what's happening with our government. That's the true reason why we still have fencing up around D.C. That's why there's fencing still around the White House, because they're not ruling within the American favor. They're scared of the citizens. And if politicians are scared of the citizens, that tells me a couple things about our politicians. That tells me they're doing things that the American people do not agree with. And they have to protect them now. Now they have to protect themselves against the American people. That is what dictators do, my friends. That is what Venezuela does. That is why Nicolas Maduro was the most popular president of Venezuela. And we saw what happened there, right? Eating your dogs for dinner. That's what happened in Venezuela. Eating garbage out of dumpsters. That's what happened in Venezuela. And my friends, these people are using the same playbook. They're using the same playbook, my friends. And this is not going to end until we're able to wrestle this power away from these individuals that continue to try to label us terrorists. Remember that one movie? I really didn't understand it at the time. But looking back on it now and with a different perspective and maybe a little bit more wisdom on my side, I kind of understand it a little bit more now. Remember that movie? It had Will Smith and I want to say it was Gene Hackman in it. It was called Enemy of the State. Any of you guys ever watched that movie, Enemy of the State? And how they were tracking him and everything like that. I would have to go back and watch that movie, revisit it. But I feel like we're living in a combination of all of these movies all at once. Minority Report, if you guys remember Minority Report, that was a Tom Cruise movie where they tried to predict the crimes of criminals and arrest them before they took place. So they were arresting people before they acted on a crime. So they were basically arresting you for thought crimes. We've hit that already. The Enemy State, where they were surveilling us through technology, through our cell phones, that was uncovered by Ed Snowden, and that shown that what we're currently going through. Yeah, there's a few other movies that we are currently going through that I'm just looking at. I'm like, yeah, that's where we are. That's where we are. That is where we are, my friends. Somebody said I need to get over on Rumble. I am over on Rumble. I am having a hard time dealing with the Rumble stuff right now, but I am on Odysee right now. So if you can go check me out on Odysee, you can check me out on the last video that YouTube pulled from my channel. Is over on Odysee right now. You can go check that out. And yeah, Gene Hackman, yeah, Enemy State. There we go. Thank you. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I like Gene Hackman. He was a pretty good actor. So, yeah, I mean, that's where we currently are with all of this stuff. This is just gets back to the point to where dissent is no longer allowed, and especially if you have a different opinion. I believe Amazon will now not be carrying any books that classified transgenderism as a mental illness. They are banning all those books off of Amazon right now. So any books that had claimed or with scientific backing, medical backing, and stuff like that, their transgenderism was a mental illness, is now being banned off Amazon. I wouldn't be surprised once it's banned off everywhere, and where basically now on some parts of here on the internet, you can't even talk negatively about transgenderism without being pulled, canceled, or taken off these types of platforms. So this is all kinds of stuff that we are dealing with, and it's all coming at us pretty hard. So I mean, this is where we are, and it's a sad world that many of our youth are going to have to grow up in. You know, I'm 40 something now. I'm about halfway. If we're going based off of just generality, because none of us know when we're going to die. But if we're just going to use life averages, I'm about halfway. A lot of that stuff I'm going to continue to try to fight for, but I worry for our children. I worry for my kids that they have to come up in this cancel culture that we're currently living in. That a bad joke, or what they would consider a bad joke, now will be eligible for you to be fired or not hired or even considered for a promotion. So this is where we currently sit in the cancel culture. I mean, I grew up in the 90s. I was a teenager in the 90s, and I remember, Demolition Man. That was another good movie that I was thinking about in my head. Demolition Man. And if you guys haven't watched A Critical Drinker, he has a great channel, Critical Drinker. He goes over movies and stuff like that, and his analysis of Demolition Man is fantastic. You guys need to check that out if you guys are able to get around there. But growing up in the 90s, we grew up with thick skin. I mean, we grew up with all kinds of comedians and movies, television shows, and stuff like that today would be considered, in an ism. Just throw it in a category of an ism, and it would be canceled. I'm surprised they haven't canceled many of these old television shows. I say old, I mean the 1990s. And many of these 90s stuff has not yet been canceled by society. by the society that we are in now. So it's a shame of where we are. It's a shame that we can't speak freely. A lot of times I find myself talking coded when, you know, we're talking about things, and it's just not right. We should be able to discuss our ideas and our conversations and our and what we think's happening around us freely. But they can't handle any of that because they know they're on the losing end of all of this. They know our side is much more capable and more influential than their leftards, their commies. Because people naturally want freedom. They don't want to be ruled with a boot on their neck for their entire lives. But with the way public school systems going and things like that, people are being raised to want the boot on their neck. And they're conditioning these next generations for a dictator. They are absolutely priming our generations that are coming up for a dictator, where they will be yearning for a dictator, and they will do it. And they will abolish the Constitution, and they will go to that point where we will have a dictator in this nation if we are unable to wrestle control back from the far destructive left. It's going to take all of us. It's going to be a lot of work. But if we don't, we could probably see a dictator within our lifetimes. Scary, right? So anyway, don't want to leave it on such a dreadful note. So let's go ahead and take a look at this funny video real quick before we go. This is a guy trolling this Karen inside a grocery store. This is funny. I probably would wear a mask just to do this. Let me show you. You guys may have seen it already, but I thought this was hilarious. I'm looking for it right now. It's on your Twitter.
Huh?
It's on the Twitter.
Is it on my Twitter account? Okay.
I think.
Or my Discord.
Let's see here. Where is it at?
You have Facebook?
Twitter.
Here, this is pretty funny. I don't want to leave you guys with where is it? Where is it? I had it.
You gotta take him down. It was too mean.
Was it this one? No, it's not that one. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I'm going to have to go to my likes here.
Gabby made coffee without the coffee filter insert again.
Awesome. Oh, this guy's the one that shared it. Okay. So this guy shared it here. Here it is. All right. This is awesome. This is awesome. Let me go ahead and stop it and bring it up for you guys. This is amazing. You guys are going to like this. This is what we're going to end the show with tonight. So let's go ahead and go over here and check this out. Let me share audio. You guys are going to like this if you haven't seen it already.
Wait, I get her reaction.
You can film her?
Yeah, I'm right now.
I'm going to. What's she doing?
She's throwing you in point. She's really mad.
This?
Yes.
Does she think I'm not wearing a mask?
Yes. She thinks you're not wearing a mask.
How's it look?
Really good. Go. Go straight.
Excuse me, sir. You're really supposed to be wearing a mask. It's a store, and we're all affected by this, and it's really rude for you just to be walking around like you don't even care with your mask pulled down over your face like this. It's rude. You should be wearing a mask.
I am wearing a mask.
It's clear that you're not. It's clear that you're wearing it underneath. I can see it's underneath. You're not wearing it properly. I see it's on your
I'm wearing a mask.
Okay. I mean, I don't understand why you would wear a mask like that. Who's supposed to know that you're wearing a mask? Like,
That's the idea.
so rude.
Wait, I get her reaction.
Don't
This is the only reason I would have ever worn a mask, just to troll people like her. That was amazing. She was just reading. I can't believe he's not wearing a mask. You got to pull your mask up. That is the only reason. The only reason I would have worn a mask. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. That was amazing. I had a lot of fun with that video. I saw that yesterday. I was like, oh my gosh. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and leave it there for tonight. I do appreciate all of you guys coming out and being part of tonight's show. Thank you if you came over from someone else's page that shared this. Thank you for the support. Hopefully, we should be back up and running over on the Let's Be Frank page, hopefully before Tuesday. If not, then look for this community page, and I'll give you guys directions if I'm going to stream here or if I'm going to go head over to Sparky and stream over with Sparky on Tuesday. But I'll let you guys know either way here on the community page. So just with that, I ask for prayers, for the things that are happening over here on this side. And we'll see what happens with YouTube in the next day or two and see whether or not we can, those strikes will be lifted from the channel. So I will keep you guys updated. And thank you, everybody, for being part of tonight's show. Thank you. And I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great one, everyone. God bless.